There are no windows, no sunlight, and no family members allowed. 50 feet beneath the Earth's surface, at the Rambam Hospital in the northern port city of Haifa, lies the largest coronavirus ward in Israel. Once a fortified parking lot, the space has been transformed into an emergency hospital to cope with the endless flow of COVID-19 cases.
The older people are being taken care of in bed by the nurses. Okay. And yes, there are a lot of older people, but not only older people. We also have a very nice group of 50, 60-year-olds that are here. Most of them walk around here and are very mobile, but the difficulties are a lot of them need oxygen constantly. So even to go to the bathroom is an issue because they need oxygen to carry the oxygen with them.
Fully equipped with emergency rooms, operating areas, and an intensive care unit, this facility was originally built as a shelter from Hezbollah rockets after the 2006 war with Lebanon. But with the global pandemic battering Israel, the space has been conscripted for the war on COVID-19. There are currently 75 coronavirus patients in the ward, but it can hold up to 770, including 170 on ventilators. Not only is this the largest facility dedicated to coronavirus patients in Israel, but it's also the largest underground hospital in the world. In fact, it can hold up to 2,000 people in times of war. Hannah, age 66, checked herself in a few days ago as a precautionary measure, because she also suffers from several underlying medical conditions, including cancer.
I was infected by my husband. He was in the synagogue, and apparently a person with the virus went there too and infected almost 30 other people.
In this pandemic purgatory, doctors and nurses are on call 24/7, as are physical therapists, radiologists, cleaning teams, and lab technicians. Social workers are also on standby. They help connect patients to their loved ones on the outside.
The hardest thing about this is that the family members can't be here with the patients. The isolation and distance from family is hard for these patients. Everyone outside should wear masks in order to minimize the spread of this virus as much as possible.
But Rambam has even gone a step further. The hospital has teamed up with Israeli defense company Elbit Systems to adapt a command and control system typically seen on the battlefield. Thanks to the technology, doctors and nurses can be located in real time and communicate like never before.
Maybe Rambam is the first hospital worldwide that basically changed his mode of operation to this kind of mode of operation that he has command and control. Basically, what does it mean? That every staff member, it can be a doctor, can be nurse, can be anyone, is actually connected now.
Under a nationwide lockdown since mid-September, many hospitals in Israel are struggling to cope with a surge in patients.
The biggest challenge is to treat patients in an optimal way when we find ourselves working under less than optimal conditions. We don't have the equipment we need or the entire infrastructure we're used to getting in regular hospital wards. It's very difficult for us to work while wearing this protective gear over a long period of time.
But is a full lockdown an effective measure?
If there is a true lockdown, it helps to decrease the amount of infected people per day. It does decrease it. It's not a medical treatment. So you need a plan, a very good plan to what happens the day after, how you're going to release it, and how are you going to prevent you. Because if we have a lockdown and then everybody behaves exactly the same like they did before, does nothing, just delays the problems. Going to second wave, third wave, and so on.
For those working in these coronavirus wards, the situation is dire, and their message to the public is simple.
I would like to ask everyone who is watching and listening to us to understand that right now the situation is really serious. We are giving everything we can to help everyone here in this ward. But if the public won't take precautions and act according to guidelines, we will simply collapse.
From Haifa, Maya Margit reporting for the Media Line.